Alright, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Roman. And this is not a felony. It does run and drive. I just have not tested it out yet. It is a two-wheel drive slash. Low center of gravity chassis. It has rustler A-arms on the front. This is basically a rustler front end and rear end. But I use a low center of gravity two-wheel drive slash for this. And I don't know what motor and ESC I really want to put in it. This one is a 5700 kV with, and that's a Sidewinder 3 ESC. It was in my rustler and it got a little hot, but I didn't care. I just on 3S it got hot. But since I added a little bit of weight in the back here, I don't know how that's going to work. But I geared it down because I added the weight. And but yeah, I've had these. It has plastic drive shafts right now. That's what I got in it. And I've had the Rustler for like 2 years, and drive shafts looks pretty good. Now, I don't drive as much as I used to, that's for sure. But yeah, it's a little rear end heavy, but the battery's gonna go here, which should put a little bit weight on the front. I still don't know if I want the shocks on the front of it like that. I think they're JATO shocks. They're just real hard to push, which is fine because you don't want a lot of suspension travel with that body because it's a real hard body on that felony. But my buddy gave me the felony body when I sold him the felony, and I wanted to build something. I might end up going with either a 2400 kV motor from Castle and a Mamba X ESC to run 4S in it. But the goal is at least run 3S and try to reach speeds like probably 60, maybe 70 miles an hour. But more than likely, I'll just sit on my shelf like my other toys do. But now what I did here is I had an extra chassis brace for a two-wheel drive Stampede or a two-wheel drive Slash, and I cut it off in the back, and it's underneath the transmission here, so there wasn't a height difference. And this aluminum bar goes all the way to the back through the shock tower. So it's connected back here to this bolt, and the bolt on the other side, and I put an extra bolt there. It's not the best aluminum I had laying around, but I figured that right there is going to be a weak point. But it's just going to be on the street, so it should be okay. If not, I'll find out real fast. But yeah, it's got a Stampede rear end, A-arms, same thing as a Rustler. And it just happened to fit the body perfectly. So you can see that it is a little bit wider in the rear than it is the front. So you can see it tucks in just a little bit. Same thing with the rear. This side's about the same. I drove it in a house with the body on it, and it does pretty good. But if you really wanted to, you can run full drive Stampede tires on it. Should be about the same wheelbase, and it sticks out the same. But the chevrons aren't very good. I mean, you could probably run the stock Rustler wheels on the front and probably do something different for the back, because the backs aren't as wide as the front ones are. But I just think it looks cool. I love the body of the felony. I just didn't want to spend that kind of money on a car. It's just for the street. I run on my track more than anything. But have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Ain't the prettiest thing, but it's these KV motors you guys would suggest, that's fine. I really prefer to run 3 or 4S with the system right now, because I do like my power, but I'm not power crazy. I do know people put Mamba Monsters in them, in the Rustlers, when they were years ago, that's just too much power for me.